Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also make sure you turn off your hot and cold water supplies. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Samsung Washer Water Inlet Valve. It's going to be a very easy repair and it should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new water inlet valve. The water inlet valve is what controls the water going into the washing machine. The main reason to be changing it out is if one of the solenoids has failed or the body is cracked and you're getting water on the floor. In order to change the part, we have to go to the back of the machine. We have to take off the hot and cold water lines, so we're going to put a towel down to catch any water that might spill out. And then we're going to take our pliers and remove the fill lines. Make sure you remember which one goes where. They're labeled on the machine, hot and cold. Once you're ready to take them off, you can grab your pliers and loosen them up. Once you break them free, you can just loosen them with your hand. In order to get to the part, we have to remove this access cover. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver and remove the screws. With the screws off, we can lift the cover off. All you have to do is lift up on it, and it should just come right out. Once you pull it out, you can set it aside. Now that we have access to the water inlet valve, we can take off all the wiring connections. You really can't mix these up because they're wired in at different lengths, but just to remember where they are, it's red, blue, white, and black. And when you hook them back up, there's a little arrow on top. You want to make sure that when you put them back on, the arrow's on the top, so the wire connections are on the right side. In order to take them off, all you have to do is unplug them. Once you have those disconnected, then we can use our Phillips screwdriver and remove these 3 screws that hold it down to the control panel. There is a connection point in the front of each of these solenoids, so in order to get the water inlet valve out, we're going to lift up on where the hose is connected and make sure that those little square pieces come out of the frame, and then we can lift up at an angle and rotate it. Once you have it out, you can pull the valve clear, and then you'll see the connection points. Once you have the valve released and you're rotating it up, before you pull it out, we have to reach in with the pliers and take this clamp down so we can pull that hose off. We're just going to reach in and compress it and slide it up the hose. And then we can pull that hose off the water inlet valve. If you have to, you can use a small flathead screwdriver to help break the hose free. Once you have the hose off, you can pull the water inlet valve out. Here's the old water inlet valve next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. To put the new water inlet valve in, we're going to do it the same way we took it off. We're going to rotate it up so we can get this water line on. All you have to do is press it on. You want to make sure you get it all the way to the lip right there, that base. And once you have it in place, we can grab our pliers and move that clamp up to seal it. Now that we have the clamp moved back up, we can rotate the water valve down, and we're going to do it a little bit different putting it back on. We're going to put the wiring connections on here because it's kind of hard to get them back on there with the control board in the way. So we're just going to snap them on. Remember, little arrows go up. Black one goes here, then the white, blue, and the red. Now that we have the wire harnesses reconnected, we can put the valve back in and connect those 3 connection points. You want to very carefully feed those in at an angle, and then as you're pushing in softly, you have to make sure that you keep the squares above here so they go in. And then once you have them past the frame, you can push down. And then give it a good push to make sure those little blue O-rings get a good seal in that plastic housing. Once you have it in there and it looks like it's good, you can put the screws back in. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver and put the screws back in. Now that we have the new water inlet valve installed, we can put the cover back on. To put the rear cover on, all you have to do is lift it up so this little lip right here goes underneath here. Once you have it in, you can rotate it down and push it into place, and then we can go around and put all the screws in. Now that we have the rear panel installed, we can reconnect the hot and cold fill hoses. To reconnect the fill hoses, all you have to do is start them by hand and get them snug. Once you snug them down, you can tighten them down with the pliers to make sure you get a good seal. When you're hooking up the water fill lines, make sure you hook up the hot one to the hot side and the cold one to the cold side. Now they have the water fill lines reinstalled, we can plug it back in, turn the water back on, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.